Hi, this is Cass from Aussie Cass Plays, and welcome back to the Royal Generation of My Medieval Legacy Challenge, wherein we have a stinky child. It is her birthday today, and I was like, I'll start the recording looking at her sleeping, being all cute. And then I came in here, and there were green gas clouds, and in the spirit of Halloween, which has just passed, maybe that's appropriate, I don't know. The horror. So we're going to age her up. Desirae has made a cake. It was immediately put in the fridge by somebody else. Having two maids on the lot is a problem. I would really like to rehire James as a gardener if I could manage it. So Lily's come out to play on the monkey bars. She does want to achieve level 10 motor skill, so that's cool. Maybe she could play. I'm not sure playing in the snow when it's probably frozen over, icicles hanging off it, frost. I mean, if children could die in this game, I'm just saying she is engaging in some life-limiting activity, but that's fine. Annoyingly, every other time I've recorded during this event, I've always been able to do all of the Grim Reward events before I record, so it's not cluttering up the UI. I did both of these, which is the reason it's annoying. I did host a social event. I did visit a bar on a Wednesday night. In fact, I visited like 4 of them. And no, the game says no, so it has not resolved. Oh, why are you angry? Whoa, calm down, lady. She's like, I can't believe I'm pregnant again. Just eat. You'll feel better once you've eaten. I usually do. Lily's channeling her nervous energy about the prospect that, again, her mother may be pregnant with a boy. Obviously, Lily doesn't know. Oh, she lost a tooth, by the way. Lily doesn't know that this is the last baby. Oh, hey, look, one of the foxes has come to keep an eye on us. Yeah, Lily's not aware of that. We all know that. So we all know this is the last time she has to go through this anxiety, and that if it doesn't happen this time, then she's in the clear. If she has another little sister, can you imagine having 4 little sisters? Oh my goodness. I'm really just waiting for Grace to wake up, to be perfectly honest with you. She will wake up soon. He's getting a message from Martin. Martin Goth, the heir to the Goth estate, notoriously spooky Goth family, thinks he's a psychic and the king is in danger. I'm gonna say I'm scared. Now, yes. Oh, wait. No, because I did get Life and Death. I bought it on sale from a third-party seller of keys. I recommend you look into that yourself. It was significantly cheaper. It was about 30% cheaper than if I bought it from EA. Maybe 25. But still, I did buy it. I've barely played anything in it because I was trying to do the Grim thing, so I haven't actually really explored it at all. This is one of the new traits. Chased by death makes the sim more likely to die. I have theories about how I think this will work, but I am not putting it on my main sim. If this were on any other sim in the household, I'd consider saying yes, because the story would be cool. But because it's the king and we need him to stay alive and complete his aspiration, I'm gonna say no. Oh, look at these two having a little chat. He's a big reader, this guy. I don't know if I gave him an interest in books, or actually, no, you can't. That's right, you can't, because the Sims team hates me. We've already established this. But I we'll do a social event. We'll make it a birthday party, and we'll see if that ticks it off, because I actually had a birthday party and it didn't tick it off. We'll see if this one works this time. You never know. Bartholomew and Benedict. We'll invite Marcus. He can bless the baby or whatever. Interestingly, because she's lazy and her dad is active, they don't get on. We're obviously doing it here, and we might as well do it now. So what I was going to say is there's been some developments again, and he is actually feeling sad about it, which surprises me because I did not think they'd ever met. Emily, who is his aunt, so maybe that's why he's sad, but it says someone close, not a family member, has passed away. She died of old age. Bartholomew, who is obviously Emily's husband and Benedict's father, has moved to Windenburg. He's moved in with his son at the embassy. Because I figured Emily was the main problem in terms of them moving back, because she didn't want to be like known to be, you know, faithless and blah, blah, blah. All those things she would have been accused of. So she didn't want to face that. She never came back to the kingdom. Now she's passed away. Bartholomew's kind of actually free to return, I guess. I mean, he grew up in the church, so it is his hometown. Rhea and Sarah are jokesters. Sure. You want to give me free money? So this is, I think, a tutorial of like how to use the will estate. So like ride up a wheel, blah, blah, blah. I think that's the point of this. I don't know who this is. I have no context for if there's any story to this. I might as well say yes, please, to the free money. Get some money. That's cool. 4,000 simoleons. Thank you very much. That'll help fund the war effort. This party is going to be expired by the time I get the baby downstairs. What was I thinking? I love this. I love that she can do this. I had never seen this in my life. You need to feed the baby. And then I'm going to get the cake out at the last possible second because I know that James and Poppy are desperately going to try and put it back in the fridge because they hate me. I'm just going to hold it. It's mine. Hi, Bartholomew. He's like, I'm going to go sit next to my son. Yeah, you're a widow, buddy. He's had a good life, all things considered, Bartholomew. I mean, it got a bit rocky there for a while, but that's fine. What's the matter? You're outside in a blizzard. What are you doing out there? Oh my god, James. This is sounding a lot like the previous episode, I'm not gonna lie. Put the cake back. You are right to swear. Fiona, that was the correct response. Help blow out the candles. Grace. I could just age Grace up with MC Command Center, but I'm trying really, really hard. Happy birthday, Grace. And then do a friendly introduction to your uncle. Okay, now I have no real sense for Grace's personality. I did mention this last time. Silly, sure, let's go with silly. Happy birthday, sweetheart. Oh, she's cute. And she's got brown ? Eyes. She's like, I'm in a big conversation with all the big people. Let's give the baby a makeover. By the way, I just have to say, if you're looking at doing a medieval Let's Play and you're contemplating buying Life and Death anyway, the CAS for this pack ties in very nicely. So say I go to the Queen. By the way, I'm not sponsored by EA. I'm not in the Creator Network. I'm just mentioning it because I found it quite interesting. A lot of these pass, like they're not super medieval. I mean, there's a skull, so you have to overlook the skull. But this one in particular, like that looks like something Fiona could and will wear. Some of the outfits in here actually really work. Like some of the ones, like a few of the ones in Get Famous and stuff. There's a few packs, like surprisingly, Batu. The CAS in Batu is good for peasants. It's got that kind of layered, like improvised kind of vibe. I wouldn't recommend buying the pack for just the CAS, any of those packs. But if you were looking at getting them anyway. By the way, this is Grace. I'm not done. I just decided I would put her in this dress and then I thought I would talk about it. And I'm back and we have a makeover for little Princess Grace. So she's got that outfit that I already showed you. Plus I figured a second everyday outfit wouldn't go astray. We have formal. We've got a couple of sleepwears. I gave her slippers. It is winter, but these are short. By the way, this little romper, would you call that a romper? Also the Life and Death packs. So like I said, there's a lot of buttons, not a lot of zips. And while I know in medieval times, I don't even think they had buttons. I think it was all ties back then. I could be wrong though. So don't come for me, medieval TikTok or whatever. We have party. I actually gave her a swimwear, but like I said before, you'll never see it. One hot wear, hot weather, and I should probably give her a second cold weather. I feel like she's ended up in a lot of like purpley kind of colours. I did filter on red, but it didn't really give me, oh, that's giving Christmas, honey. I love that for you. But yeah, I think she's adorable. Also, I added freckles because I thought she needed freckles. Oh, she has green eyes. What a cutie. I load it back in and Lily's a picky eater now because the game is punishing me. I love that for me. What are you cooking? Campus stew. I mean, okay, that does look like a very hearty winter meal. In fact, it looks delicious. It's not winter here and I still want some. Where's our little bean? There she is. Still very, very tired. Maybe I could get the nanny to put you to bed. Let's have a talk to Bartholomew. This guy, we've barely seen since he ran off with Emily to live with the fairies. You know, as you do. Because Benedict grew up in the Fae Kingdom, and you can kind of tell from the aesthetic I've chosen for him, he's a bit more relaxed about certain things. But he's still the ambassador. The fact that Emily and Bartholomew aren't with the Fae anymore doesn't mean the Fae have given up on the realm. Hey buddy, I'm glad you're in the kingdom now. Well, I'll bestow some empathy on you. And he's like, I don't need your empathy. Thanks, son, but no. Oh, he's changed his mind. I mean, it is very cold out there. So everyone's sort of doing their own thing this evening. Like Fiona's playing Don't Wake the Llama with Rhea and James, that kind of thing. The king's currently boxing. But Sarah snuck off and she's decided that the princess who died a long time ago might be a bit lonely. So she scratched out a marble circle and she's like, I'll play marbles with you, princess. Now, obviously, the princess isn't playing marbles with her, but she's down here just hanging with Coral and keeping her company. And I thought that was really sweet of her to do. I mean, possibly a little creepy, and she looks a little spooked out by the whole situation. Maybe she's sad because she pricked her finger doing cross stitch. I like to imagine that she's sad because the princess died, and that is a tragedy. Love that. It's so cute. Now, if they're still doing it, I can show you. So these guys are up here playing Don't Wake the Llama because Fiona needed to do something fun, actually. And I thought this might be a good idea. Something that she could do with her daughter and with, he says maid, he is a knight. He just likes to put cakes in the fridge. Lily's up here working on her typing skill, which everybody's come to supervise, obviously, because she's tired. Now, she's in her third trimester in 13 hours. We probably won't get to that point in this part. No, you're not watching the marbles game. You don't know where your sister is. Although she's a twin, right? Maybe she's got that special twin bond. Now, Desirae, just because these guys are in the same location, I'm going to actually have her talk to Edward for a sec. She's like, Your Majesty, may I speak to you for a moment? And Fiona's probably giving her some epic side eye. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add these two to a group. And maybe they could just... Oh no, that's the bedroom. I'm like, which floor am I on? I'm on the wrong floor. I wanted them to sit by the fire. So over here. Desiree's pulled him aside because she's like, Your Majesty, remember how we discussed that we needed more allies in the war? And he's saying, yes, I do. Have you news for me? She's saying, I have a possible lead that could get us a contact. So I don't have a contact. I have a contact of a contact with the werewolves, the wolf folk. And he's like asking, remind me what werewolves are. So she's quickly going through it. The story she's telling him is that once upon a time, there were humans who were spellcasters and some of them harnessed magic. Yeah, you can like stories. Some of them harnessed magic to dark ends, and that's how we ended up with vampires, and others harnessed magic to bring themselves closer to nature and their familiars and that kind of thing, and that is how we ended up with werewolves, which I think is actually canon in the game. So she's giving him a quick explanation of that, and she's saying, I do know someone who knows a werewolf. And he's like, okay, great, well, let's meet them. Can they come here? And she's like, no, they can't. We'd have to go to them. And I have to say, Your Majesty, it is, to be perfectly honest, the person I'm talking about, in fact, there's two of them, they are vampires. So I know a couple of vampires. They're not allied with King Stroud, but they are vampires. He turned them against their will, but he turned them. So you would have to be willing to meet with vampires in order to get the contact. So they could recommend that their werewolf ally. And he's like, whoa, I thought you said there was a war, because there was a war. It's called the War of the Eternal Flame. Hilariously, it was a war that involved the Sim Kingdom, and I was reading up on it. I didn't actually mean to replicate that here. Kind of done that anyway, so I love that for me. The long and short of it is, you may remember, if you've watched this whole series and have a good memory, or if you've watched it recently, Desirae was actually born in the Vampire Kingdom to Oliver back when he was turned, and his wife. The place where she stayed until she was older and Oliver came back and everything was actually with the Vitors. And the Vitors, one of their cousins is a werewolf, which again apparently is canon. So I didn't know that. Lily Zhu is an immortal werewolf who is a cousin of the Vitors. Surprising to me as well. The things you learn. So they are still in contact with her because they were relatives from beforehand. And Desirae hasn't had a huge amount of contact with Lilith and Caleb. They do think fondly of her. She thinks fondly of them. You know, she knew them when she was a child. And they are also against Vlad. And I think Desirae has always been concerned that this war that the kingdom has was going to result in harm coming to the vampires she cares about, who are good vampires. And this is her way. She's come up with a way that they can demonstrate to Edward that they are actually not on Vlad's side. It does mean Edward is going to have to travel to meet the Vitors. Probably not to Forgotten Hollow. I don't think... I mean, he's got a whole army there. In theory, he could go to inspect the troops and while he's there, meet up with them in a quiet corner somewhere. That could actually be a possibility. No. Although I don't want you thinking about flirting when you're talking Desirae. You guys are related, albeit very extremely distantly. So that is the conversation they're having. It is going to involve travel. He probably isn't going to want to do it until spring, which is end of the week. Winter ends. And he doesn't want to leave until his wife has had the baby that he's hoping will be his son. So he's not going to go yet, but he's agreed that she can put plans in motion. And you've probably just made Desirae sick as well, Edward. Thank you for that. She's pumped. She's like, yes, I can save everybody except Bud, because screw that guy, and his wife, because screw her too. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at now. I was thinking about sticking around until the Queen has her baby, but she's still got like probably another couple of days. So I think I'm going to actually wrap this part up here. I'd love to hear what you guys think of the plan. I was trying to think of a way to get the werewolves in touch with the spellcasters and to like establish that connection to Edward. And I actually, when I read that Lily and Caleb and Lilith are actually cousins, I was like, that's perfect, because we have an in with Caleb and Lilith. So Desirae, once again, is the linchpin of the whole thing. She is the MVP. Sarah's got a loose tooth. Desiree's fitness level 5. She's preparing for battle. She's going to go to a war zone with her king. And we're going to have another baby in the next part. Heaven help me. If you've enjoyed, please like and subscribe. You know the drill. Don't forget to wash your hands, and I will catch you next time. Thanks for watching.